Joker, 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 you are lucky, my man. You are lucky to be alive right now. Everybody knows it, especially Musetti. Musetti, unbelievable. I thought out of all these big matches that we were looking at, Federer potentially going against Berrettini, that didn't happen. Of course, I've been excited. Sinner, Nadal, they're in a battle right now. We're going to talk about that one later. That's in an absolute war. Musetti, I am sorry. I did not give you enough respect. I did not know you were going to be bringing it the way you did. But you did tell the world. You did tell the world, be ready. I'm ready to shock the world at the French Open. And for 2 sets, it was shocking. It was scary. All Joker fans must have been getting very, very concerned about their man. It did not look like he was going to pull that out because Musetti is an artist out there, and he seemed to always one-up Joker at a lot of Joker-like strategy things. They go in these amazing rallies. Musetti hit a drop shot, and then Joker just couldn't quite do enough of the ball, or he just kept winning all these cat and mouse. It was really, really awesome. Ollie Payton comes on and says, poor Musetti getting a groin injury halfway through the match. So, yes, that was the thing, guys. And I watched the beginning. I watched the first couple sets, and then I had to go teach. And I was like, oh, my gosh. Djokovic is going to lose. This guy is just out-dueling him in every respect, beating him in the long baseline rallies, out-powering him, out-touching him, out-running him, and just doing everything just a little bit better than the Joker with, and this is why people love Federer, and I think this is why people are going to really love Musetti if he can keep this up, with a lot more flair, right? I mean, if you want to know, hey, why do some people think Djokovic is boring and why does everybody love Federer? I mean, just look at Musetti. Musetti is kind of like an artist out there. Everything he does looks pretty damn cool. And he was able to just use those extra little shots. The extra little flair was paying off against the Joker. And so then I had to go teach, and then I come out and I see Djokovic waving to the fans and doing this, and I'm thinking, oh man, Joker's out of there. He lost. And no. My other coach came up to me. He's like, no. Djokovic just won. Musetti just pulled out. So, and then I just got off the phone with my friend Matt from Coffee Break Tennis, which, by the way, can everybody here, if you follow Matt at Coffee Break Tennis, can you write a letter to the tennis channel and tell them to get Matt on the tennis channel to actually get some good programming? Wouldn't Matt be amazing on the tennis channel? I want right here, this might be my personal movement. Let's get Matt on the tennis channel. So write the tennis channel and tell them to look up Coffee Break Tennis. I'm fine doing what I do with the instruction and all this stuff. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't turn down a job at the tennis channel, but I think Matt really deserves it. Okay, anyway, Matt and I were talking, because I knew Matt would watch everything. And I said, Matt, when did it appear that Musetti was hurt? And he said they didn't really talk about it much during the broadcast, that they kind of said maybe something's going on. He called for the trainer in the 4th set, but he clearly didn't play the same. So if any of you out there know when Musetti exactly got hurt, did you see it happen? I was watching the highlights on YouTube. For the most part, they weren't really mentioning it, and he looked okay, but I guess not the same. He completely fell apart. Now, at what point exactly did the groin injury happen? That'd be interesting to know. Does anybody know? But that was obviously the difference in the match. If that did not happen, Djokovic would probably be packing his bags. Instead, it's like a cat given 9 lives. That was definitely a life he saved, and now he's moving on. And that's a big, big, big relief, I'm sure. And so it'd be very, very interesting to see what this is going to lead to. Okay, so let's read some stuff here. Prime Djokovic versus Prime Federer, who would win? Well, it all depends on the surface. We're not going to go through that right now. Matt needs to be offered a contract right now, says Ollie Payton. Well, Ollie Payton, you're a big Matt Bradshaw fan. Please write the tennis channel. Let's get Matt Bradshaw on there. Okay, young whippersnapper. Interesting. Says Musetti wasn't injured. He collapsed mentally. Musetti was still running normal in the 3rd and the 4th set. Okay, who wants to verify that? Who thinks Musetti just threw in the towel and is using the groin as an excuse? Who noticed? When did the wheels fall off? Was it physical? Was it mental? Was it both? Did Joker just, go in the lockdown mode? I didn't see that part. So I'd like to know. Djokovic certainly capable of going into lockdown mode and frustrating people, but was Musetti hurt, or did Djokovic just get in here and just grind away like he's done to so many people until you finally say, no mas, Joker, can't handle you anymore. He was probably hurt in the beginning of the third after a couple of games. Did we notice anything, though? Was there any obvious, did he pull up limp? Did he stop running for shots? I think Djokovic played brilliantly in the third and the fourth. I mean, that could be. He could just, he goes in the lockdown mode, guys. When Djokovic goes in the lockdown mode, he just cleans up everything. He doesn't miss. And all of a sudden, these points that you were winning, because I saw Djokovic. There's one play where Musetti hit a beautiful drop shot. Djokovic came in, he slid, and then he hit the net. And he kept doing things like that over and over again. These are shots that when Djokovic goes into lockdown mode, he just doesn't miss anymore. He just seems to not do it anymore. So let me know. Didn't look mental to me. Musetti literally stopped moving. It wasn't even lockdown mode Djokovic, says Ali. Okay. I think Musetti had a physical issue. We saw sudden level drop. Okay. By the way, Bashkar, I just talked to Matt and I said that you are a big fan of his and he might come meet us out for dinner one night. You have to give Novak credit. He lost 2 tiebreakers and came back with aces. Super strong mentally. Well, of course, we're not taking anything away from the Djokovic. I mean, that's the thing too. This is a great lesson. Whether Musetti got hurt or he didn't, this is the perfect template for everybody who plays tennis out there to never give up no matter what the score. Keep making your opponent answer tough questions, especially as you get further and further behind. Make it your mindset to make the points tougher and tougher. Make that person have to earn the right to shake your hand. Just don't give it away. And that's what Djokovic did. He obviously kept fighting, came back, and maybe the injury was really, really bad for Musetti. Maybe it wasn't as bad. Who knows? But he hung around long enough to where Djokovic didn't even need to finish the match. Musetti quit. Now, I'm not saying he quit because, he's faking injury. Maybe he quit probably because he was legit injured. But, Djokovic hanging around. It's a great lesson for all tennis players out there to never give up. You have no excuse to give up. And so many tennis players give up when they're not feeling right, when their game doesn't, when they're playing a style, when they're playing a pusher they don't want to play. They just pack it in. Wow, excited to meet Matt from Coffee Break. Matt B. Yeah, we might. No promises, but we'll try. Musetti, his first slam, he's 19, and he just won 5-setter in the previous round. So what does that mean? What is the point there, Francisco? So he played enough tennis and he quit? I mean, was he injured? I don't know. Young Whippersnapper says, Novak emptied Musetti's tank in the first 2 sets, then started beating him from the third set on. Musetti probably started to panic once he started losing game after game and collapsed completely. That's the Young Whippersnapper's assessment. Do you guys agree with the Young Whippersnapper? I wish I could sit here and tell you that I watched the match from beginning to end, but I don't want to lie to you guys. I coach tennis for a living. I had to go out and make some dinero. So I had to leave the match, and when I came back, I was shocked to see Djokovic leaving. He kind of looked like maybe a little. Now looking back, I guess he kind of felt bad, but it looked like he was saying his goodbyes, and I thought he had lost. And then to find out that Musetti was hurt. So let me know what you guys think. Was he legit hurt, or did Djokovic just do what he does? He just gets you and grinds you down until you finally just go, oh, this is painful. Every point's painful. My body hurts. I can't handle it. Maybe I'll just tell people I'm hurt. Maybe, sometimes when you're losing, all of a sudden little nagging injuries that you could probably finish a match with and win, they start to hurt a lot more when you get tired and you start to feel like things are really, really tough. When the tougher the questions become that people are asking you physically point out, your injuries start to hurt more. So you're talking about Roger. Well, first of all, Roger didn't give up. He won. And then he made, look, guys, Roger has the right at his age. Okay. People want to criticize Roger. Let's just address this right now. People want to criticize Roger for defaulting the next match. First of all, the guy has like 1,500 wins on tour. I think 1,500 wins on tour. And Roger has finished almost every tournament start to finish. When have you ever seen the guy default in the middle of a match? Barely ever. When has he pulled out of a tournament? Barely ever. And I'll tell you this. If you were to ask the French Open, hey, French Open, let's just say this was pre-designed. Hey, French Open. Hey, tennis world. I'm Roger Federer. I'm going to come and play 3 tournaments at the French Open. And then I'm going to default after that because I don't want to take too much risk on my body. I want to perform well at Wimbledon. Do you think the French Open would have said, no, Roger, don't play then if you're going to withdraw? They'd say, hell, we'll take every match we get. The ratings, everything. The ratings, the money, the interest around the world. We'll take you playing 3 matches, Roger Federer, at the French Open. Don't worry about that. I can tell you this. If someone asked me, hey, you only get to see Roger play 3 matches at the French Open this year, then he's going to default, what would you take? I would take it. So come on, Roger's earned the right, guys. He's earned the right. He's not somebody who typically pulls out of matches, calls for injury timeout. He doesn't pull any of that garbage his whole entire career. This is ridiculous, these comments on Roger. Musetti had a 5-setter versus Marcus in the 3rd round. Looks like Musetti ran out of gas in the 2nd set or an injury. So maybe it's a combination of both. Djokovic is not going to win Roland Garros in 500 years if you stand a chance against Nadal playing like you did against Musetti. Well, Musetti played awesome, though. Musetti played awesome. And let's take a look. Where is Nadal? Nadal was in a absolute dogfight. Going to go to that French Open scores here for you guys and see where that match is at. And then I'm not gonna be on here too long. I wanted to come on and talk. Oh, look at that! Nadal grinds out the first set, 7-5. Typical Nadal. Again, these guys are so good. We can say, hey, maybe Musetti got injured, but think Djokovic basically just did what Nadal's doing now. His back was against the wall. If you don't know, Nadal is down 5-3. He just pulled off the first set, 7-5. Djokovic was down 2 sets. Then look what he did. Not giving up, not going to lose. Federer, same thing. 39 years old, no crowd, terrible conditions, refuses to lose. That's what makes those 3 guys so amazing. Musetti is looking like baby Federer. That's true. Let's not name another baby Federer. It did not work out well for Dimitrov, so let's not start calling Musetti baby Federer. Although I do understand the comparisons. Beautiful game, very stylish, lots of flair, lots of talent. We don't want to curse another great talent, though. Poor Dimitrov. It started to really get to him. He's like, I'm not baby Fed, okay? I'm an adult male. So it obviously can get to people. So let's not start labeling Musetti baby Fed. That would not be good. I understand the comparison, though. People forget Novak lost the first 2 sets in tiebreakers. That's right. Very, very close. And they were exhausting points. They were very, very grinding points mentally and physically. And, maybe there comes a point. And this is what I talked about before. We've talked about talent. Somebody the other day talked about Kyrgios and his talent. And now he's got more talent than everybody. I'm like, well, what is talent? Focus might be the #1 skill. Me as a tennis player, what would I want? I'd want 2 things. I'd want focus. I want my ability to keep my focus just throughout an entire match from first point to last point. And I'd want to play the big points well. I'd want to play under pressure well. Is that not a skill? So maybe his skill, his talent for staying focused for 5 sets, maybe it got to him. Maybe he got exhausted. It's hard to show up each and every point versus the GOATs and know that you cannot let up at all. Because if you drop your game that much, it's over. Dominic Thiem learned that against Rafa and Nadal. They played 6 of the greatest games ever played on the French Open. Did you guys remember this? A finals. Watch those first 6 games. It was 3-3. Every point was an absolute war. an absolute dogfight. It got to 3-all. Even Nadal said, I know there's no way we keep this level up. But Nadal, what he said is, I'm not going to be the first one, though, to let my level drop. See, Nadal knew there's no way we're keeping this level up for 5 sets. It was very interesting what Nadal said after that match. He's like, there's no way we're keeping this level of intensity up the entire match. But he made up his mind. Damned if I'm going to be the first one to drop a little bit. And then Dominic Thiem blinked first. And all of a sudden, it wasn't a match. Maybe that's what happened today with Joker. Maybe Musetti, just a little bit of loss of energy, a little loss of focus. Maybe the groin's kind of hurting. He's not short, nagging. And boom, that was it. Djokovic just turned that match completely around. Okay, let's see here. People forget, I saw that. Especially first set, he was leading the tiebreak, 4 points. He was up, I think it was up 4. Djokovic was up like 4-2, 4-1 in the first set tiebreaker. It's bad to call anybody Babe Fed with a one-hand backhand. Fed has unbelievable technique, yes. Are you criticizing Federer, says young whippersnapper? Geez, give the guy a break. He's 39 years old, coming back from terrible injury. That's right, young whippersnapper. That's right. Go Fed. Fed, thank you for playing the French Open. Thank you for giving us another amazing tennis memory. You inspired the great Andy Murray, which how inspirational has Andy Murray been coming back? Very inspirational. So I love that Federer played the French Open this year. I love what I got to see from him. That last match, I will never forget it. So thank you, Roger, for playing. The only thing I still contend is why can't we put that guy back in? If you lose and your guy defaults, why not a lucky loser? You know, their argument was, well, you don't want that for the final. I'm like, hell yeah, I want that for the final. You know, let's say Federer plays Djokovic in the semifinals of Wimbledon, okay? And he somehow beats Djokovic, but then he's too hurt to play the next day. Not even pace himself, not even he just legit gets hurt. And Nadal's way in the final. What would you rather see? Would you rather see Nadal just be given the trophy like, okay, Nadal, you know, Federer couldn't play today. Here's your trophy. He's hurt. Or would you rather see Djokovic being put back in the tournament to play Nadal in the finals? I don't see why that's a big deal. I don't see why we can't do that. We have lucky losers from the qualifiers who get thrown into the main draw when people withdraw because of an injury. Why can't we do that throughout the whole tournament? I think it makes it a lot more interesting. I haven't heard a good argument against it. So I don't see why it can't happen. I mean, think about how many I've been to tournaments where they don't have a final because somebody got hurt. I don't see why we can't just throw the loser in from the match before. Who do you think will end up winning the most Grand Slams? I think it's very well. I think this tournament, it's going to be a big, you know, it's big because as I've been saying, Nadal wins. All of a sudden, he's at 21. He's the GOAT. And Djokovic has a lot more work to do to catch him. Djokovic wins. All of a sudden, he's at 19. Not so much work anymore. Then he could go on the Wimbledon, win 20. Then he could go on the U.S. Open, win 21. He could end up being the GOAT by the end of the year. You know, I think here's my thought process. Either Djokovic or Nadal is going to win this tournament, and out of the two, whoever wins the tournament is going to be the GOAT for at least till 2021. You know, at least till 2021. Let's see. If you want to stand a chance against Nadal, players like Musetti must be put 6-1, 6-3, 6-2. I don't know about that. I thought Musetti was playing incredible tennis. I really didn't think Djokovic was playing that poorly. I thought Musetti was showing a lot of talent, guys. A lot of talent. You know, he's a great player, young kid. He was showing a lot of skills out there. I think Musetti showed us a lot. I hope we see a lot more of him. Hopefully he's not too badly injured, and hopefully he can learn how to go 5 sets all the way against big guys like this. Fed paid the crowd with his around the net shot around the 3rd round. It is unbelievable to see him do it at age 39. Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, Sinner is firmly in the Nadal washing machine. Let me go back to this. Let me see what the score is. Okay, so Nadal is 7-5, 2-0, 30-15. Okay, guys, I got to go watch that match. I just wanted to come on in and say, Joker, You're lucky to be alive, man, but I'm happy you are. I'm happy you are because I think the tennis world wants and needs to see another match, another great battle between Nadal and the Joker for all the marbles. So looking very, very forward to seeing that. Looking very forward to seeing that. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. If you did, like it up, smash up the like button. You know we're going to be back. You know we're going to be back. I'll just read a couple more. If Federer started to practice early in the grass court, then he would have the edge against Djokovic. Maybe. I don't know. I just hope he doesn't have to play Djokovic at Wimbledon, to be honest. I hope somehow Djokovic loses. Yes, I'm a Fed fan. I'm an unapologetic Fed fan. I would like seeing Djokovic lose somewhere along the lines where Federer doesn't have to play him and Federer wins and gets to number 21. That's what I want to see. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one.